Hey everybody, and welcome to Malt Muser Whiskey Reviews. I am Eric. I have a special one on the bar today. Bunnahabhain Feis 2020 Moine release with an Amontillado finish. As always here on the channel, nose taste finish review coming right up about this Scotch whiskey. I'll tell you a bit about the value, give you my final thoughts, final score, leave you with a malt musing. But first, if you are new to the channel, take a second, hit that subscribe button. I'll make sure you don't miss any of my reviews, which drop every single Friday here on YouTube. Also get you notifications for my happy hours, which are Tuesdays at 8 o'clock Eastern time. If you are returning, thanks so much. Would appreciate the thumbs up if you enjoy this review. Okay, let's get into it. Bunnahabhain Distillery, located on the Isle of Islay, most famously known for its heavily peated whiskeys. Bunnahabhain, however, for the most part, very low to non-peated whiskeys in their core range. However, this one in particular is for a special release for the Feis Festival, which is an Islay whiskey festival held annually on the island itself, from 2020. This is one of two releases that they did, and the Moine, which means smoke, implies that this is a peated whiskey. So this one in particular is bottled at 56.9% ABV, non-chill filtered, natural color, written right here on the label. This is what the bottle looks like. This is only one of 1,658 bottles released of this. It was distilled in February 12th, 2010, and bottled on, December 2nd, 2010, and bottled on January 24th. So it's technically a 9-year-old whiskey, but pretty close to 10 years old. So this has an Amontillado finish. If you're not familiar with Amontillado sherry, it is kind of right in the middle between your more heavy red fruit flavored dry fruit olorosos and your much drier, kind of sweeter white fruit finos. So Amontillado is kind of right there in the middle. So that is the story here on this Bunnahabhain Feis release from 2020. Let's get this in the glass, and we even got a Bunnahabhain glass for it. How about that? All right. As I mentioned, this is natural color, non-chill filtered. And this is what we are looking at. Quite a nice dark color. All right, let's dive into it. Right away on the nose, sweet, spicy. You are picking up that peat and the smoke. So the peat on this, it's very herbal and organic. It's got some of that maritime quality to it, a little bit of that medicinal note, a little bit of that road tar note. So kind of a interesting notes that you pick up here on this peat. Very similar to kind of a combination of a lot of the peated whiskeys on Islay. There's also just some rich, dark, almost like honey notes, raisin. It's a very dark, brooding whiskey. But right on the edges, you get a nice nuttiness and a bit of a almost creamy vanilla sweetness. You go even a little deeper, there's almost a citrus note too. A little mustiness as well. It's really nice on the nose. Complex, inviting, just smells like it's going to be a nice warming whiskey. Let's give it a taste. Let's launch y'all. Very rich, heavy flavor. Coats the mouth. Oily. Immediately you're hit with kind of stewed fruits, that raisin note, and then you get a nice hit of the peat. It's very effervescent, juicy on the mouth, spicy. The smokiness is still there. You get some dark chocolate, almost like a cola note, which goes into a medium finish, medium to medium long. Very, very distinct dark chocolate note, hazelnut, just other kind of like almond maybe, other types of nuts. Finish actually hangs on for quite a while and is getting kind of almost creamier as it sticks around. That vanilla is really coming through. And that is for the Amontillado sherry. I mean, I think it is bringing some of the brightness to this, Otherwise, I think this would just be a very, very heavy dark whiskey. But it does brighten it up a bit. There's almost like peach, slight lemon, and the crispness just kind of wraps around the edge of this very, very heavy whiskey. All right, let's just put a couple drops of water on this. As I mentioned, this is at 56.9% ABV. Make sure I got that right. Yeah. So this is pretty much a cask strength whiskey. That's the color again, looking really nice. Okay. Wow. Again, there's just like a dank mustiness to it, which I tend to pick up on some Bunnahabhains. It's here too. The oak is kicked up. The bright kind of citrus sweet is picked up. Wow. There's almost like a berries note too now. Peppery. And I mean, I would even go as far to say there's, I don't know, almost like a beef jerky or smoked fish note, just like kind of slight in the background. It's giving it a savory quality. It's very much sweet and spice, but there's more savory now, the additional water. Again, heavy, rich, arrived sweet, nuts, raisin, slight peach, apple, much more apple now. I do think this is probably ex-bourbon prior to the Amontillado finish. And now, as it goes into that finish again, the spice comes in. You get the hit of the peat. The smokiness is there. It's not overly smoky. It's much peatier than it is smoky. And going into a medium long finish. A little more juicy fruit gum coming through now with water. Maybe a little bit of lemon lime. But mostly caramel, nuts, raisin. Maybe hints of like almost like a dark maple syrup and cola note. Okay. As for the value on a bottle of this, this is definitely an exclusive whiskey. You will not find this in the United States, and you would have to pick this up over in the UK, whether you're there or have it shipped. If you do find it, you're looking at around $200 US, maybe a tick more or two as this gets increasingly more scarce. So I'm going to put this at a medium value. It is a pricey whiskey, but it is quite exclusive, considering that this was released only for the festival, and there are less than 2,000 bottles available on the market. Okay, final thoughts here. Bunnahabhain Feis 2020, the Moine Amontillado finish. This is a really good release. I really do enjoy Bunnahabhain style, and I especially enjoy when they kick up the peat a notch or two. They've definitely done that here. The Amontillado does kind of sweeten this up a bit, does give it a little bit more fruit note, kind of balances out those heavier dark notes that you get off the Bunnahabhain cask that it was in before the finish. I quite enjoy this. It is a young whiskey. I mean, it's just about 10 years old. So you would be paying a pretty heavy price for a 10-year-old whiskey, but it's got a great ABV. I think this really is one of their strong Feis releases for sure, especially if you like a peated whiskey and a nice sherry finish on something like that. This is a great release from Bunnahabhain. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. And so 4 out of 5 is going to be the final score here on this Bunnahabhain Feis Amontillado finish, which means I do recommend you pick yourself up a bottle if you can find it even at that kind of high price. Grab 2 if you can, to be honest with you, because this is quite a good whiskey. Okay, y'all. So that is the final score and final review here of the Bunnahabhain 2020 Moine Feis release, Amontillado finish. I'm going to enjoy the rest of this dram, and I'll kick you on over to your malt musing. I'll see you next time here on Malt Muser Whiskey Reviews. Sláinte, y'all.